Hey, everybody. Welcome to our homeschooling Zoom call tonight. We are so excited that you are joining us, and thank you for carving a little bit of time out of your busy night. I know there's a lot going on here in this week, and so we really, really appreciate your time and for spending a little bit of time with us. We will make sure it is worth your while. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Okay. Can you see that, Leah?
Yep, you're good.
All right, you can go ahead.
All right. My name is Leah Pearson. I'm helping Abby host this evening, and I am from Northern Michigan. I've got three kids that are 9, 8, and almost 6. So I always tell people it was 3 and 3 years, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. It was really, really busy. But we love doing all things outdoors, hunting, fishing, raising animals. I tell people that we kind of homestead-ish. We're not like really homesteaders, but we kind of like the idea of that and are moving towards that. And that's part of the reason why we homeschool as well. I also tutor at our local classical homeschool community, and my kids are a part of that. And so that's a little bit about me. You see some pictures of my family there. And as far as I wanted to share a little bit of my health testimony and how these products have transformed my life as well. 3 years ago, as you can see from this picture, I found myself very, very sick. I was actually bedridden. I was so sick. I had just had back-to-back children, like I told you. And then I also had some back-to-back life-threatening surgeries, and my body had completely tanked. So my future looked very bleak. Doctors did not give me much of a chance of a normal life. And I was watching my kids from the sidelines because I was so sick. So out of desperation, I ordered Plexus products, and within a few days, my health really began to transform. And I consistently saw healing unfold in the upcoming weeks and months. It was like I had breakthrough after breakthrough. And I was stunned and also pretty curious as to why I saw these results with the supplements, even though nothing else had really helped me before, even though I was technically doing everything right. I was eating clean, I was exercising, doing all these things. I had a whole cupboard full of supplements that I had tried previously that had not helped. And so I was curious, why did these make such a big difference? And so I just wanted to touch on that a little bit and share what sets our products apart. What I found about our products is they are unique because they address root issues in your body. The root issues are really what's going on underneath the surface causing that issue. So to regain your health, you need to target these and not just symptoms. It reminds me of, I'm sure you've seen that old game of whack-a-mole, right? So in that game, the mole pops up to the surface and then you're supposed to whack it with a hammer. And in your health, symptoms that you're dealing with often pop up to the surface, like one of those moles. And I think too often we try to whack those symptoms with an essential oil, with herbs, a single multivitamin. Those are things that I did for years to no avail. But Plexus does not address what's just popping up in your health. Instead, it pulls back the curtain and really addresses those root issues. Then those symptoms popping up begin to subside and your body heals. It's really an amazing thing. And I found that with Plexus, my supplement list has really simplified and my list of health issues is dwindling. And I'm super thankful that I proved the doctors wrong. So true healing at the root level is something that will change your life. And that's one reason why I'm so passionate about what we do. And that's what sets these products apart. And I know, Abby, you've got an awesome health testimony too. So I'd love to hear yours as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Leah. No Band-Aid fixes here, which I love. So for those who don't know me here quick, I am in the Madison, Wisconsin area. Three kids also, as you can see, homeschooling family as well. My husband actually does plays a huge role in our homeschooling journey. Touch a little bit more on that later on, but we are a big sports family here. The boys in our family, my daughter and I are more into the music, into arts. I actually was a music teacher for 9 years prior to Plexus, and into my Plexus journey actually. And then we're pretty involved with our church, a little bit about us. So yes, my journey started 5 years ago. My sister was posting her pink drink on Facebook. I literally thought it was a cup of Kool-Aid. I was like, what is that? We don't do that. I was so skeptical, in fact, that she had to purchase my first box for me. But I'm so thankful she did because yes, I was teaching at the time. As you could see, I had lots of inflammation in my body, was not even aware of. I was exhausted. I had a horrible, horrible sugar addiction. I was reaching for chocolate every afternoon. I was exhausted. I needed a nap. I was on the couch all the time. I had no energy to play with my kids. I was waking up at night. I just kind of felt like I was surviving. And so I got started on the products. And yes, same thing. A few weeks in, I started noticing I didn't need that ice cream every night before bed. Amen. I really went to thriving and just I found I wasn't shaking anymore before meals. Like I could tell my blood sugars were balancing. I started sleeping well through the night. I wasn't nodding off during church anymore. My face slimmed down and I just felt better. I felt more in control of my health, which was so freeing. And I never would want to go back to the old Abby. So it's been just amazing for my health and my family's health as well. So I started for the products, but very quickly what happened was I started feeling better and I noticed that there were a lot of people around me that were really struggling. They were struggling with the same things I did, or they might have been struggling with digestive issues and they couldn't go to the bathroom and they couldn't lose that stubborn weight. And maybe they had more serious things like autoimmune issues or diabetes or even infertility. And as I was researching gut health, I noticed that it could help in all these areas. So this is a product that anybody that has a gut, which is all of us, can benefit from. But at that time, we were living pretty tight in our finances between my teaching job and my husband's physical labor job. We just didn't have a lot of extras to go around, even though we lived pretty frugally. Our savings was non-existent at that point. Every bill that came in the mail, I just felt anxious. I always asked my husband, do we have enough money? Do we have enough to cover this? And I hated living that way. And then, random vehicle expenses would pop up or medical bills, and that just made me feel even more worried. And honestly, I'm a person who loves to feel safe and secure. So the idea that I could pad our budget and bring in some wiggle room was a huge positive for me. And so the idea of having more security for my family's health and wealth was a huge benefit. And so, I started sharing with other friends. And what happened is I started getting emails in my inbox that said, you've been paid. I'm like, oh, this is fun. And I would see 100, 200, 300, $500 coming in. And I was completely in shock. I think I cried probably the first whole year every time I got a paycheck. It was amazing. And then I got a comma in that paycheck. And then I was covering expenses and covering our mortgage. And finally, my husband, a few years ago, he lost his job. He lost his job of 17 years. And we could have been easily blindsided, right? But because the income I was bringing in, which was six figures at that point, it was tripling what I made as a teacher. He didn't have to go scramble to find a job. He didn't even have to go look for a job. We decided I was going to retire him at 33 and he would be able to come home and stay home with us now. And it was literally, it felt like a dream. I still feel like it's a dream waking up knowing that we're together each day. We get to design our days. He's not missing out on moments with our kids. We had our third baby, COVID baby. And it just makes me tear up thinking like he got to be there for every moment. He got to see his first steps. He got to rock him to sleep at night, right? He didn't have to miss out on any of those, that precious time together. And that is, just completely priceless. So I'm just so thankful that the Lord saw this opportunity as a way to provide for us. He knew that job loss was coming and he knew that Plexus would be there and ready to fill that gap. And for that, I am forever grateful.
Such a powerful story. So my story starts 3 years ago. I told you I was very sick at the time, but financially we were very sick as well. It was not even paycheck to paycheck. We were in ministry at the time and living below the poverty line. So we didn't even have a budget. Our budget wasn't tight. Like there was no budget to work with. We didn't have money for groceries. We were buying used toys for our kids as gifts. That always tore me up. We had given up on the idea of being able to buy a bigger house that would actually fit our growing family, or vacationing ever again. And even the thought of being able to throw a birthday party for our kids or have them in extracurricular activities just seemed impossible and out of reach. We were so broke. So when my friend reached out to me about this business and she shared some of the things that we're going to cover with you guys tonight, my heart was stirred and I knew that this was an answer to prayer for us as well, just like it was for Abby and her family. And one thing that I was thinking about is, as a homeschool mom, I know often we desire for our life to be different than the world's, right? So for my husband and I, we chose to homeschool because we value the family unit, and quality time with our kids as a whole family is very important for us, just like what Abby was sharing. And my husband, like a lot of husbands, was working super long hours, gone from home. And I had a strong drive to also bring him home more and also to increase our income. So money was not so tight. So that's why I started my business. And this has freed him up so that we can fulfill the vision that we have for our kids together, that quality time together during the few years that they our home, and being able to fill our days with what is important to us. And thanks to my business, we've been able to buy our dream property of 30 acres. We have a bigger home. We've started developing that property as a family, which is super fun. Building deer blinds, gardening, all things together. And I love that. And this business has also made it possible for us to do things that have been on our heart for a long time. So last year, actually, we were able to send my husband on multiple mission trips without raising any support. He actually went to Pakistan 3 different times last year to preach the gospel. And we were able to personally buy several families out of brick kiln slavery, and have never had to, like I said, raise a dime of support for that. So he didn't need to worry about taking time off of work for that because of my business. And I truly am just in awe that we had the freedom to be able to send him, and that we have the capacity to be able to serve our local community, our local church, and then also worldwide as well. So 3 years into my business, the things that looked completely impossible for us are possible. We have kids in extracurriculars. We get to travel often. Groceries are not a daily concern, even with the rising cost of the stores right now. Oh my goodness. I know you guys have noticed that. We've been able to pay off debt, and our family is just in a completely different place. And it's really because I took a step of faith when I had a conversation with my friend. And tonight we're having a conversation with you guys as well. And I really believe that you can be in a completely different place just a few short months from now as well.
Oh, so powerful. I love hearing your story, Leah. Thank you. So let's talk quickly about, why this company, because there are so many different ones out there, right? So why Plexus? And there's so many reasons, but I just picked 6 for tonight. So I just want you guys to know that this is a company of integrity. I have met both the founder and the president. They're wonderful men. They're family men. They are about giving and blessing others. If you're blessed, be a blessing to others. And we've been around about 15 years now. Plexus has an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau. Like, that's the top of the top, right? You can't go beyond the A+. So we really do own the gut health space, where we really pen ourselves as the original gut health company. And from what you're probably learning, gut health isn't going away. It's not a fad. It's not here and there. And it's here to stay. And I think one stat that I've heard recently is that searches for gut health on Google is up by 80%. Like, people are finally understanding our gut. It means something for our overall health. So, we're here to stay, and everybody needs what we have. We're a debt-free company, which just means that Plexus is able to be very generous to, to us who are out there spreading the word. We have a highly acclaimed medical advisory board, specific team of scientists that are creating our products. They're incredible. All our products are made here in the US. We're stationed out of Scottsdale, Arizona, and millions have been donated to special Plexus charities. So I love the heart and the integrity behind this company.
Me too. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so let's talk about the benefits of sharing here with Plexus, all the fun things that are at your fingertips. First of all, I want to highlight there is a residual income aspect to what we do. So you're not just trading hours for dollars, which I think is a really, really beautiful thing about this business. It's something that's going to compound and build so that you're able to leave a legacy to your children and your children's children. And residual income is a super powerful thing. So I love that. I do love that there is flexibility to work from anywhere as well. It's very convenient. So I can make great use of my time while I'm waiting for the kids at piano lessons. I can earn money while the kids are at soccer practice. And I love that as a busy mom. I also know that homeschooling provides flexibility of schedule and the ability to travel when and where you want. And I think that this opportunity also provides that. So it pairs very well with homeschooling because of that. There's also a low startup cost, and you do not have to handle any inventory, which was huge for me. So I literally started earning money the day after I clicked enroll. I didn't have to store, handle, or ship anything, which was a huge relief to me as a super busy mom. And with all my piles of homeschool curriculum, I didn't need piles of inventory sitting around. And as I shared with you previously, we had resigned to the idea of never traveling because our budget was super tight. And I'm blown away that Plexus provides the opportunity to earn multiple luxury trips. There's trips, multiple trips throughout the year for brand new people, for top earners as well. There's an upcoming trip in February that I'm planning on taking my whole family to, which I'm very excited about. And I know that Abby is taking her little guy, I believe, right, on the cruise coming up. So I love that it's definitely a family-friendly community. And I feel so blessed that I can provide these opportunities for my kids. And speaking of that upcoming trip in February, whoever invited you tonight, ask them about that, because that's something that you have the potential of earning because it's for up and coming people just like you. And then the last thing too, once you reach a certain level, you actually get a vehicle stipend, which is really fun. And a lot of people will opt for a Lexus. You can lease a new Lexus. We call it the Plexus Lexus. I don't know if you noticed my picture a couple slides back, but my Lexus is a little unconventional. It was that tractor that I was sitting on. And I like to tell people that because we are super passionate about developing our property. We live in the country, and brand new Lexus was not a fit for me, but I love that this is something that I could bless my family with that we otherwise probably would not have. So my Plexus Lexus is a Kubota, and I love it. And that's an option that you would have as well. And then lastly, in a minute, Abby is going to encourage you to dream big and talk a little bit about that. And the reason why we want to encourage this is because there is no income cap with Plexus, which is pretty mind-blowing. So Abby, can you share a little bit more on dreaming big here?
Yes, I will. All right, I love this picture. This is with some amazing leaders. Was this Hawaii? No, I'm trying to remember if this is Hawaii or Mexico. I don't know, one of the two, but we are praying together, and we'll be talking more about the community, but it is so unique here. But yes, it is time to dream. And 5 years ago, my sister and some other leaders helped me to start dreaming. And I think it's so easy for us busy mamas to just kind of put our dreams to the back burner. We're putting everybody else first. There's so much going on, that we just kind of put those desires there for a rainy day, which a lot of times it doesn't come, right? Things don't slow down. And so, I didn't allow myself to dream because I had already capped myself. I had put safeguards in my heart. I had put limits around our finances, a lot of boxing going on here. I didn't think that I could raise kids, take care of a home, and be a successful income contributor for our family. I didn't expect to use my gifts and talents in these ways, and traveling to amazing locations totally out of the picture, maybe for other people, but that wasn't for me. Debt free, what was that? So I will tell you, if you're feeling a stirring in your heart tonight and you're like, I know there's more out there for me, there absolutely is. And so I want to pose some questions for you tonight, and maybe grab a pen. And if there's one that really is like, oh, that's good, like, I want you to write it down so you can explore that more tonight and, the rest of the week after this call. But one question that was posed to me was, if your calendar was empty, so you had all the time in the world, and your bank account was overflowing, unlimited income, How would your life look different? If you had all the time and all the financial provision, how would your life look different? If you knew that you could truly design your days, what would they look like? Where would you go? Who would you go with? What would you completely pay off? If you knew you could have a $0 balance on that bill or that loan, what are you going to pay off? And how will that feel? What would you go and make investments in? What kind of gifts would you be able to buy for your kids for the next holiday or the next birthday? Maybe it's those homeschooling experiences that you have on a list, that someday list. What if you could go and do them this year yet or next year? What kind of programs might you want to enroll your kids in, or what education could you give them? How will it feel when you're able to slide your card, not a credit card, your debit card, like it's hooked to your bank account? How would it feel if you could slide that card and never wonder if there was enough? How will it feel to be a yes mom? When your kids come and ask you, they really want to do this special thing. Yes. Yeah, we can actually go and do that. How will it feel when you get to take your spouse on that special bucket list trip that you've been dreaming about? How much relief or peace will it bring for your family to have an extra $500 a month coming in? How many more memories will you be able to make together with an extra $2,000 coming in a month? How much debt can you pay off? Or what kind of charities could you contribute to if you're making an extra $10,000 a month? And really, that's not even going to the limit here, you guys. Like, that's pretty foundational here. And how will you feel knowing that you helped make those things happen for your family? That's the kicker, right? How will it feel knowing you're making a huge impact and you're leaving a legacy for your family and your kids? And then lastly, how proud of you will you be for your achievements here? So I want you to take some time after this call to really reflect on these things, because this might be the first time where you're like, I don't really know what it looks like to dream. But it's time to dream, guys. We only have one life to live here on earth, and it is short. So this question here on the screen is great too. If your life looked the exact same as it does right now in 5 years, would you be happy about it? Would you be okay with it? And when that was posed to me, I was like, heck no, something's got to change. So Plexus came in and really helped us change that for our family and our future.
Love that. So, can you do this? Yes, you can. This is a reality that we believe that can be possible for you. And we know because we're not anything special. We saw an opportunity and we ran with it. We weren't okay with our lives continuing to look the same way they did, just like what Abby said. We were hungry for change and desperate for options and ready for freedom. And I truly believe that anyone can do this. There's no right age or personality type, introvert, extrovert. I am such an introvert, you guys. Small network, big network, it doesn't matter. Look at our stories. You don't need any experience or special talents. What we do is very simple. It's not easy. We always say easy is sleazy, and this is not sleazy, but anybody can do this. And if you're willing to learn and master just some basic skills, if you're willing to be coachable, if you're willing to get out of your comfort zone and grow, if you commit to the process, you will be successful. And I have to say that this community, I know Abby kind of touched on this earlier, it's the best community around. Having quality people to do this with is so special and so unique. Supportive, uplifting, drama-free, people helping people. This is what we see. Women going after empowering others and making an impact, because life is short, and that's what we're called to do, is make an impact in the world. We are normal, busy people, mamas going after their best life for themselves and their families. And that is the community that we are surrounded with too. And Plexus is unlike any other community I've experienced. And I know that you will love it and you will fit right in here. You have a unique purpose, and I have no doubt it can be fulfilled here with us as well.
Oh, I love that. I'm so thankful there were no special qualifications. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I wasn't even looking for community, to be honest. And now it is one of my most favorite things. Like, I don't think I could live without this amazing community. So it really is so special. All right, we're going to wrap it up because we want to get you guys off here in a few minutes and make sure we respect your time. So quick question and answer. If you don't get your questions answered, save them, share, you know, go to your sponsor, whoever invited you, and connect with them after this call. But here's some frequently asked questions. So number one, how much do you have to purchase each month? That's a big question, right? I was with another network marketing company before. I think there was the options to purchase a 600 level, a 1200, and like a $3,000 level to get started. And I got suckered into that and I hated it. And then half the inventory was still sitting in my closet like 10 years later. So what I love here is you literally pay $9.95 to get your business launched off the ground. And the only thing you're required to stay active is your own health product purchases. That's it, only for yourself. The products that are helping you feel amazing each day, you're purchasing those, you're actually getting back money on your own purchases. I love saving. You also get free products along the way and a ton of other benefits. So you're basically getting paid to keep yourself healthy. So that's number one. Leah, you want to talk about number two?
Yes. How much do you work? This question really varies depending on the person and what their goals are and how much time you personally have available. We can customize it to what is doable for you. So even though Abby and I take our businesses very seriously, we also know that faith and family are very important priorities to us. And this business does not necessarily require tons and tons of hours if you are intentional with your time. And I love that. We can keep the main thing, and you're not trading hours for dollars. So it's definitely different than a typical job. So after this call, get in touch with the person who invited you to this event. Let them know how much time you have to dedicate per day, and they can give you steps according to that time frame.
Yeah, I love that. How long does it take to make money? That's a real question, right? So you can literally start with sharing your referral link with 3 friends and get them started on their health journey. You'll make $300. $300, guys. What would you use that for this month? And I've honestly have had women make over $1,000 in their very first month. So just know there's, you know, as little or as much as you want here. It's available for you. We get paid 5 times a month. 5 you've been paid emails that you get to look forward to. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I made over 1,000 my first month, and that was life-changing for us. The next question is, what does it look like to fit this into your day? So everybody's schedule is very different, as you guys are picking up. Probably, I'm a homeschooling mom, and I think most of us here are. What I currently do is I wake up a little bit before my kids and I do some focused work then. I'll get them breakfast, we do homeschool, and then while they're on a break and doing some quiet time, I'll do a bit more focused work. We do another round of school, and then it's, of course, you know, dinner time, family time, running them to extracurriculars, all the mom stuff. And then I typically will wrap up. If there's any loose ends, I'll wrap that up after they're in bed. So I love that I get to pick when I'm doing it. And like I've said a couple of times, keeping the main thing, the main thing. That's what I love about this. Whatever your life looks like, you can personalize your schedule. So I do have some full-time working moms who work this business alongside of their day jobs. Some of them do want to be able to retire themselves so that they are able to be home with their kids and homeschooling. Others, they're just doing it because they need an additional stream of income. And they kind of do the same thing. They just work it around what their other activities look like. So a little bit before work, maybe a little bit on their lunch break or after the kids go to bed. Like I said, you can personalize that schedule depending on what you need. So I love that.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, it's not about having all the time in the world. It's about being intentional with the time that you do have. And we all have the same 24 hours. We get to decide how we divvy that up, right? Yeah, really good. So last one, what resources will I have access to? Well, I love how we run things here with Plexus is we work one-on-one with our people, product users, business builders, all across the board. It's not like, hey, well, there's your box. Good luck. See ya in 6 months. This is a partnership. And I love that we walk along our people and we help troubleshoot and we teach and we coach and we train and we support. And it's so unique, you guys. And then the community itself, We're on two separate teams. Leah and I are, but they're like sister teams. So, but we both do weekly calls. So you have the opportunity to jump on and connect to the community and get inspired and get educated. And that's a wonderful place to plug into. It's not necessary, but it is recommended. We have systems that are set up and work here. These are systems that the 6-7 figure earners use and they work. So you don't have to go and recreate the wheel and create all your content. We share a lot of stuff, content, things, resources here. And then, really, there's unlimited amount of resources. So if you're one that's like, give me all the info, we can definitely, point you in the direction of a few more things as well. So yeah, if there are any questions that you did not get answered, you can take them to whoever invited you tonight. So we do thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. I just want to thank you for taking time to be with us. And we hope that you're leaving feeling encouraged, excited, equipped to take this next step here with Plexus, whether it's the products, it's the opportunity, it's both like Leah and I did. Guys, my only regret is that I wish I would have started sooner. I wish I would have started sooner. And, you'll get off this call and you'll be on this high, and then all of a sudden your brain will kick in like, what are you doing? It'll make us fear. It'll send fears. The enemy will send doubts, which is normal. Our brain was created to keep us safe. But I want to really encourage you to not let your brain rule you right now. Like if you're here and you're saying, I want more, I want freedom, I'm desperate for change, this is here for you. And I want to encourage you to take that leap of faith, take that next step into the process, knowing that this could be the very thing that changes your whole entire life, like it has for Leah, myself. So many women and men out there. So we absolutely believe this can change everything for you too. And we cannot wait to see you guys as you go and make an impact and you learn and you grow and you have all these paychecks rolling in and what you're going to use that for, because it's coming for you. So again, thanks for joining us. Connect with your sponsor and we will chat with you guys soon. Have a great night.